Hey everyone, welcome back. We're tackling a big one today. You know, that whole career uncertainty thing, it's real and we get it. So today, we're diving deep into some expert advice. We want to help you navigate all the chaos and come out stronger on the other side.
You hit the nail on the head. It's about taking control and really figuring out what you want. So before we get tactical, think about this. Has this economic roller coaster made you rethink your definition of career success?
I love that you're starting there because sometimes, yeah, you need a little shakeup to see the bigger picture, right? Speaking of which, one thing we kept seeing over and over again in all this expert advice. Diversify, diversify, diversify.
It's a buzzword, that's for sure. You can't just be good at one thing anymore, not in this climate. You need that multi-skilled, adaptable approach.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we always think hard skills first, but honestly, those transferable skills, communication, problem solving, thinking outside the box, those are gold, especially now.
Absolutely. And you know those soft skills, they can translate across industries, which is so key. Like remember that software developer we talked about, the one who went freelance during the last recession? They said it was their communication, their people skills from tech that made them successful, even in a completely different field.
Case in point. Yeah. This applies to you too, Specifically, when we look at Piva mentions a detail relevant to the listener's field and how a multi-skilled person thrived. As per the critique, it shows that being multi-skilled really pays off. So how can you start building that kind of adaptability into your own career?
Yeah, good question. Got to be proactive. Which leads us to networking. Okay, before you grow, I know. I know. For some people, it's like nails on a chalkboard. But it doesn't have to be slimy or fake, right?
Not at all. Real networking, the kind that works, it's about genuine connections. And those connections, well, sometimes they lead to some pretty cool side hustles too. But we'll get to that in a minute.
We will. But first, yeah, networking. Think about it. People in your field, mentors, even just going to events that genuinely interest you, like that mentions an industry event relevant to the listener's field based on notes, that could be a gold mine. You just never know who you'll meet, what ideas might spark up.
And that's what's so exciting about this, those unexpected opportunities. It could spark a new project, a whole career pivot even. Speaking of which, that brings us to diversifying not just your skills, but your income streams too. Side hustles. Side hustles.
They're everywhere now, right? And for good reason. Sure, the extra cash is great, but it's more than that.
Way more. Side gigs, they're like a testing ground, Explore those passions, the ones you never have time for. But, fair warning, it takes a certain personality type. You got to be organized, self-motivated, a real go-getter. It's not your typical 9 to 5.
Definitely not for everyone. But here's something everyone can do. Stay informed. And I'm not just talking headlines here. I mean, deep dive into the trends in your field. Who are the thought leaders? What are they saying? What skills are hot right now? Things change so fast these days.
It's information overload out there. But it's about filtering, finding what matters. Ask the right questions. Know where to look for answers. That's how you spot those golden opportunities early on.
And how you stay ahead of the curve. It's all about feeling prepared, in control. And you know what else gives you a sense of control? A clear vision. So, going back to what you said earlier, this crazy economic time, well, it can be a blessing in disguise, right? A chance to really nail down your career goals.
100%. Hit that reset button on your career dreams. What are your non-negotiables? What can you live without? What have you always dreamed of doing but been too scared to try? Maybe now's the time.
Okay, let's recap. We talked about becoming multi-skilled, building real connections, that whole side hustle thing. Oh, and staying informed, obviously. But most importantly, take this time to figure out what you really want from your career.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Even the smallest steps, if you're consistent, they can lead to massive changes down the line. So it's one small thing, one tiny action you can take today, based on what we've talked about, to get closer to that dream career. Hold on to that, keep that momentum going.